All right, do we have any public comments? No public comments, so we will move on to the presentation of the Personnel Commission Annual Report. I'll turn that over to Dr. Kim.
Thank you, Vice President Peterson. Board of Trustees, as well as our Personnel Commission, it is my pleasure to share with us tonight the 2023-2024 Personnel Commission Annual Report. And perhaps as a reminder, why are we doing this? It actually is required by law per Ed Code that we do have an annual report to the board with regards to the actions and overall administration of the classified service through the oversight and governance of our Personnel Commission. And tonight is our opportunity to do so. If I may, kind of as a starting point, the Personnel Commission and the backbone in terms of its foundations is based on the merit system. The merit system, in short, is really a mechanism by which we hire classified employees to ensure fair and equitable practices. It is to promote efficiency and effectiveness in the hiring process, and ultimately is born out of the idea that we are hiring people based on what they know versus on who they know. And so ultimately the work of our commission, who's here tonight, 3 commissioners. These 3 commissioners really provide that governance and oversight to ensure that we as a human resources team are administering the merit system appropriately and applying those rules and regulations throughout. Our 3 commissioners, as we all know them, are Sue Letholt, the current chair of our Personnel Commission, and our joint appointee. And I'll describe that in a moment. We have Mr. Mark Cook, who is the board appointee onto the commission, and Ms. Sherry Pena, who is the classified employees appointee. The joint appointee is appointed by the 2 commissioners to make sure that they have equal opportunity to have a representation from both parties. Earlier this evening, we have a new appointee who will begin his service in December. The joint appointee is over there, Mr. Espinoza. So we're excited about an opportunity to work with him, as well as we want to be thankful for the service that Ms. Letholt has provided for the last 6 years. So thank you. A broad overview. Our commissioners, again, administer an oversight a variety of different things, and to make sure that us on staff are practicing and providing appropriate and fair processes with relation to our examinations, providing appropriate eligibility lists to make sure hiring practices are fair and equitable, applying those rules and procedures to ensure efficiency, managing our budget, becoming and making sure that we're adhering to the merit system, and in rare cases, this commission does have oversight of some classified disciplinary procedures. In looking at our work from this past school year, and in this chart, you'll notice that there's a comparison of the 3 prior years. Again, we've had successful recruitment in a variety of different positions in the 23-24 school year, variety of different applications received. The 3rd row talks about candidates that were examined, and the discrepancy is really making sure that candidates have full and complete applications in that process. We invite candidates to take an examination. The examination is required so that we have some level of proficiency. We want to make sure that the people we're requiring, again, have demonstrated knowledge and or skills to the specific jobs that they're applying to. And of course, candidates that are proposed and submitted on the eligibility list, we had 135 this past school year, again, for a variety of different positions. Application sources. We have a variety of different methods that we provide to ensure that we are broadcasting and recruiting out our various jobs. Over the last several years, we've had shifts, if you will, in terms of what is more prominent in capturing and recruiting employees. You'll note that we've had an increase in just employee referral, and we're appreciative of that. We want to make sure people in the community know about the jobs that are here, that are spreading the good word about opportunities to work in our school district. This next slide before you shows a vast look at our demographics in relation to the diverse workforce that we have. And again, working on our human resources team, we've talked and discussed about how do we make sure that we have a diverse applicant pool, that we're reaching out across various resources. We've examined and also looked and explored at other opportunities and creative ways to expand out our outreach for the various positions that we do have. This past school year, we had, again, some work that we've conducted in terms of reclassifications, new classifications, as well as revised specifications. Right? Of note that you'll have this year, new classifications as an example, we have a new public communications specialist, job description and classification that was proposed, submitted and approved, went through the process of recruitment, application, and now we're fortunate enough to have Emily Hernandez that is serving in that capacity. And again, all through the work, going backwards and backwards mapping to make sure that we follow those procedures correctly. Finally, if I may, just some reflections upon the work conducted by staff this year in support of our classified employees and ultimately administering our merit system rules and regulations. Again, I'd be remiss if I didn't share out how proud we are of the dedicated service of our classified employees. They are essentially our backbones in our schools. They provide an essential service. They are there in terms of cleaning and operating our campuses. They are there in terms of making sure that our kids are supported and educated. They are there in terms of supporting our schools and our offices are efficient and providing great customer service. So we are just, again, excited and proud of the exemplary work of our classified employees. And with that, I just want to thank, again, our school board, our trustees, as well as our commissioners in supporting and leading the work that we do for our classified employees. And with that, concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. Any questions? Mrs. Flores? Dr. Aguilar?
Sure, yeah, thank you for the report, and glad to have the personnel commissioners here joining us, or us joining them, or kind of both ways. I had a quick question on the candidates we have on eligibility lists. So to clarify, these are kind of a pool, a preset approved pool of potential employees, should we need them. In terms of the number, is there ever any specific, let's say, minimum amount of individuals that we would want to see on an eligibility list? Or do we feel like we have a sufficient amount kind of moving forward over the years of this number of individuals?
Yeah, great question. So in terms of the merit rules, what's required is a rule of 3, right? So ultimately on an eligibility list, what you like to see is through examination that you have a rank of 3, right? So, excuse me, rank of 3, not rule of 3. So the rank of 3 would be upon that objective administration that you have 3 top candidates. And of those 3 top candidates, you may have ties. So let's suppose the 3rd candidate has a rank that is tied with a 4th candidate. So you could technically have a final interview process with more than 3 candidates, but at the very least, you'd like to have 3. Are there hard-to-fill jobs where we don't always get 3 candidates? There are, from time to time. But ideally, you want to make sure that your recruitment has a strong applicant pool and that they've completed the recruitment process to get a rank of 3.
Okay. And then speaking of kind of potential recruitment avenues, we went over the application sources, kind of quantifying through which means we tend to receive our applications or in what proportion. I was curious of how our social media connects to any of these specific avenues, or if flyers, if job postings are out there and on social media, which of these means does it typically point to, or several?
Yeah. Great question. I'm not sure if we have yet a tracking mechanism that ties or matches, let's say, a observation on, or what do we call it, a hit on Twitter, that's the right word to use, or Instagram, that matches with any of our existing type of job sources. But certainly something that we can look into, just to see kind of the efficacy of social media in terms of
Sure,
recruitment.
yeah. I mean, because obviously, if we look at these, where do people typically, what is maybe the most ease of access, perhaps, right? So through social media, does that push them to, for example, EdJoin,
Yeah.
or does that push them to our website, you know, and which seems to be kind of the most effective means.
That's a really great question, something to look into. Yeah, something to explore.
Because I think that on the stuff I've seen on social, that it pushes it to the website.
Okay.
And I think that's what we've been told.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not for certain, but I
Okay.
think that's true because it's broken down here.
Sure.
If it wasn't broken down here, if they had gone to EdJoin, we wouldn't.
Right.
We wouldn't know that.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
So, but I think that I've seen things on there so that we can track that.
All right. Thank you.
Ms. Ledholt? Anything? No? Mr. Cook,
What?
do you have any comments, sir?
Oh, do I have any comments? No.
Ms. Pena? No? Okay. Mark, you're funny. Dr. Kim, is there a financial breakdown in regards to the cost associated with posting on government jobs or EdJoin? Is it worthwhile? Are we getting more bang for the buck through those? Or proper candidates?
Great question. In terms of a cost breakdown, there are existing costs for contracts with those using those particular tools, resources. Our staff does assess or evaluate what is getting, like a better words, better hits than others. Governmentjobs.com is, I think the overall organization is called NeoGov, right? And so they shared with me that they've seen a little bit more, like a better words, kind of people accessing that over time, kind of anecdotal evidence that people are accessing that across other organizations or other schools. But it's worth a look at to see what other recruitment tools that are out there.
It's in our budget, and we have adjusted our budget over the last few years because Brill may know this better than me, but there was some that were less effective,
Sure.
that were costing more, and so we have adjusted to try to get the best bang for our buck.
That's good.
But you'll see the breakdown in our budget of what we spend for recruitment.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, with no further questions, we'll move to Board Personnel Commission comments. Ms. Pena?
Yes.
Board
Sorry.
comments?
Do I have comments?
Yeah. Closing comments.
I don't think so. I agree with what he said. I mean, with our budget, they've had changes
Okay.
to get the most people.
All right.
Try to get.
Mr. Cook?
7 years ago, oh wait, that's a little bit not the one I'm gonna say. Can't say what I want to say. But I enjoy being a part of the Personnel Commission. I think we work hard to get the right people in the right spots. I think that our process can be laborious to some, but in the end, we get the right outcome that we're looking for. So I've learned through the years that the positive piece of this, even though multiple districts around us don't do it, but I think that it still works for us in Charlotte.
Thank you. Ms. Ledholt?
I agree with him. I think there's a lot of good to it as far as finding the right people for the job and hiring them based on what they know, like you said, versus who they know. And I think it's a good program. And when you were asking about the recruitment, Kim did, before she left, she kept pretty good track of all that as far as, what it was costing and stuff like that for recruitment. So there have been changes over the years on, who they're gonna pay to recruit for us.
That reminds me, the one thing I will say is that the jobs that we tend to have the highest amount of turnover, we try to keep that list very healthy. And it tends to be, and I wish I could remember what the title of that is, but
The food service worker and the noon aide,
yeah.
custodial.
And just the
substitutes and stuff, yeah.
health aides,
Yeah, there's some that there's a
Yeah.
really huge turnover because they just can't
Part-time,
Yeah.
part-time.
Part-time, and so that list will have, of those 132 that were on there, you know, good half of those are gonna be in probably those three areas.
Well, a lot of problems happen with, by the time they get to some of the people that are on the list, they've already gone elsewhere.
Yeah.
So the lists go away a lot of times on those, you know, entry-level jobs. So it is hard to keep up with some of them. But HR has done a good job with it. Staying up with it.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
The nice part about it, I think, is that we tend to promote within. So I think that's the good part of this, that based on what we know about people and how they advance, then I like that part of it.
We don't see names, they're all just numbers. So we don't know, and so that's one of the things we tend to ask is this promotion, is it in-house or have we gone outside? And so we just try to, I believe that it's important to promote from within. It gives people a reason to stick around. You know what you know who you know. When you go outside, you don't know what you get.
Yes, sir.
Take Paradise, put it in the parking lot. Oh wait, that's the wrong lyrics. But yeah.
Good song nonetheless. David, I know, David? David, I know you just got here. You have any comments?
I just got here, so I'll pass that to one of the meetings.
Sue.
I'm moving out of state, yeah.
Enjoy the new venture.
Thank you.
We appreciate your service here.
Thank you, it's been a good experience.
I'm certainly it is. Enjoy your training. Take care of yourself. Okay, Jeff.
Ms. Flores?
Oh, great. I'm done.
Well, thank you to all of you for serving on this commission, and thank you for listening to Mr. Cook, even though sometimes it may be hard. But Sue, thank you for your service. Enjoy your retirement. You can call Mark Cook anytime, he says. So have his number on speed dial. Yes, just because I do. But thank you for all that you've done for our district and for the Personnel Commission, so thank you for your service. You will be missed.
Dr. Aguilar?
Great. Again, likewise, glad to see you guys at this annual meeting, and sometimes more often when we get to see you in the community as well. We appreciate all the work you guys are doing. It's fantastic. You know, kind of building off of Mr. Cook's comments, you know, being able to see many of our employees increase in their positions, and it really kind of speaks also to the development of the employees and the experience that they have within the district. So I think that's also, you know, a big strength. And then again, Ms. Lathold, thank you so much for your service. Please enjoy your wonderful next step, your wonderful next beautiful place to live, and we'll miss you. So thank you so much.
I want to also welcome Mr. Espinoza to the Personnel Commission. So you'll be a nice addition, and we look forward to seeing you as well. We always see you in the community, so but congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. Ms. Flores? Sue, congratulations on your, this isn't necessarily retirement, right? It's just, you retired a long time ago.
Retired from Charter Oak
Right.
8 years ago, yeah.
Okay, so this is just a hobby.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're,
You can't be an employee and be on the personnel,
that's true.
but, yeah.
So congratulations. Thank you for all your commitment and dedication to Charter Oak. We appreciate all your efforts. And you can see it, the fruits of your labor everywhere you go around here. So,
Well, I'm gonna miss it. I've been with the district for a long time, and my kids been involved with it, and, you know, graduating from here and stuff, so it's gonna be a big change, but
yes, ma'am. Oh, a good change.
next
Change,
chapter in
yeah,
life.
change can be good. So we appreciate you. Thank you. Mr. Cook, I don't know what to say, sir. But all three of you, thank you for your service, for your commitment to our district and all the employees. Putting the right people in the right spots, not always easy. So thank you. Mr. Espinoza, welcome to the team, sir. We appreciate you. Looking forward to working with you, and hopefully you can control Mr. Cook.
Wow.
Just saying, just saying.
Sure, you'll be in charge of both of them.
Yeah.
True that.
Sherry will come in line.
All right, I think we're done, right?
Standard.
All right, and with that being said, we are going to end the joint meeting of the Board of Trustees and the Personnel Commission at
521.
5:21.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.